the way it was. And when I went through my own spiritual transformation and really opened up to all that is, I suddenly felt not only a connection to everyone and everything on the planet, in the universe, but I also suddenly felt this idea that, wow, I can have my truth and you can have your truth. There's nothing wrong or right. There's nothing good or bad. So I began to adopt that philosophy and really release my emotional charge and my attachments to either side. Because when we make a decision to polarize in a certain belief, we anchor that. We lock that in. And then how easy is it for you to open your mind and be open to some other possibility? It's pretty difficult when you've decided this is right and everything else is wrong. Okay? So we're going to use some of these tapping statements. Most of you know that I like to kind of incorporate other modalities into EFT. I'm not really an EFT pure. These techniques, they use the word yes as a mantra. So you focus on the issue that you want to clear, and then you just say yes forever, right? But yes can be a very powerful affirmation because there is no emotional attachment to the word yes. It simply just is. Like if you ask someone to create a keyword or a cue word for them that's positive, many people would say, what? No? Love. What?
Go.
Go? Okay, go's probably not a bad one. But love. Most people say, I just want to focus on love. That's going to be my mantra. But if you really sit with that for a moment, people have issues around the word love. It may be too vague. It also, for some people, may trigger the lack of love in their life or relationship issues. So we try not to use love. But the word yes in any language pretty much is neutral. It's just simply a positive affirmation. Okay. So I'm going to ask you, rather than repeat the statements like we usually do, the even though statements and the releasing statements, I'm going to ask you simply to respond with yes. Or if you'd like to respond with no, that's fine. Maybe you're not ready to clear something. Okay. No, actually, if it's no for you, just be quiet for the rest of us. So the idea is to clear our response to something that might be a judgment of either negative or positive, or we're judging that it's good or bad, or we're judging that there's punishment regarding something. There's some sort of punishment related to it, or reward, okay, because we get trapped in these extremes. So when we do these affirmations, it's really about clearing that emotional charge, which is simply a polarity, right? And we need polarity. But polarity is actually looking for balance, isn't it? It's looking for that midpoint. But we tend to be drawn to one or the other, making a judgment. That's right, that's wrong. That's good, that's bad. So we're going to try to release all of that. And then what do we have? Let's say we release all our attachments and that vibration of extremes. What do we have? Well, what are we left with? How do we... Nothing? Okay. Does that feel good or bad? Okay. And again, that's a judgment, right? But we were talking about this a couple weeks ago over coffee. What happens when you stopped reacting or responding to things in either a good or bad way? What happens? You're in a neutral position and you're left with space, right? Mark brought this up. You're left in space. And what do you now, what is available to you now with that space? What can you have in your life? Peace. There's more room for love, right? Bliss and peace. All those warm, fuzzy feelings, right? All right, so let's get into some tapping. First, I want to ask you to think of the perfect scenario for you. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to accomplish? Make it huge. Make it big. What's the biggest thing you want to change in your life? What would just make your life absolutely fantastic? Okay?
I have certainty.
Certainty. Okay. All right, very good. Anyone else? What do you got? I know someone's got money, right? Who's got the $1 million? Okay, $2 million. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else want to share their secret? Freedom? Freedom from fear? Okay. Now I want you to just close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself at a podium in front of a huge audience. And in that audience is every single person that you've ever known in your life. People from school, church, all your relatives, all your family, everyone you've ever known. And you're standing at that podium, and you are announcing to that group what you want in life, what your goal is, no matter how big that is. And notice how that feels. Do any of you feel a little vulnerable? Okay, we've got some head nods. All right, why do you feel vulnerable, Morgan?
I think there's a fear of failure in there.
Okay, so you're announcing to this huge group, right?
Yeah.
This is what I want, but you're feeling the fear of failure. Can I live up to it? Okay, can you get there?
I feel like, do they care?
Do they care? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Like, who are you? Who are you to want that?
it's not, I don't care where you want.
Okay, like what you want maybe isn't as important to other people.
Right.
Okay. All right. So when we do the tapping, I'm just going to ask you some questions, and I want to hear your answers. All right. So we're not going to do an even though statement, but we are going to tap to clear psychological reversal, rewind. That's simply self-sabotage. It clears the energy of wanting something, but you're not on track energetically. And it's a reversal in polarity, so it goes right into what we're talking about today. All right, so tap into that feeling, feel it in your body. Notice how it feels. Notice maybe some symbols or people in your life that represent that feeling or that support that feeling. Okay. Are you ready to let that go? This is where you say yes.
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
All right. You ready to let it go? Good.
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay. Very good. All right. Tapping on the eyebrow point. I want you to focus on whatever you perceive as the good in releasing that feeling. Do you want to release the good? Yes or no?
Yes.
Side of the eye. The bad.
Yes.
Good. Under the eye. The wrong.
Yes.
Under the nose. The right.
Yes.
Good. How about the punishment involved?
Yes.
Good. How about the reward?
Yes.
Very good. Now the next one is, there had to have been a certain point in your life where you created the energy around this and you locked it into your belief system. Are you ready to clear and let go of that point of creation?
Yes.
Under the arm. Good. Let it go. You guys are getting softer every time.
Power tapping.
Power tapping. That's right. You got to be loud. Eyebrow. And also there may have been a point where you destroyed a part of you or a certain belief that is holding you back from this glorious goal that you have. Are you ready to release that point of destruction?
Yes.
Very good. Take a deep breath. Okay, just sit with that for a minute. Notice how you feel. Anybody feel better? Okay, a few betters. Anyone feel worse? May have triggered something. When you're tapping and clearing and working with energies and meridians, you may very well trigger something that is called, we call an EFT, an aspect. You may have triggered a different aspect that is actually spiking your anxiety. Okay. All right, let's do some more tapping. Should we do some more power tapping? Get some yeses out there, get some vibration going in the room. All right, throw out an issue. Because if you've got it, guaranteed, everyone else has a variation of it. Forgiveness. What about forgiveness? It's difficult to forgive? You need to forgive. You need to forgive who?
I need to forgive John
Okay.
for dying.
Okay. You need to forgive someone for dying.
Yes.
Very valid. And what does that feel like, that need to forgive or that you haven't forgiven? What is that feeling for you?
The pain in my hip.
Okay. You still got that forgiveness. We worked on that before.
It moved. That was the answer to your question.
Where'd it move?
It moved. It was right on my side. It moved more towards the middle of my body.
Okay. All right.
Now it runs down. It's my sciatic, so it runs down.
In EFT, we call that chasing the pain. When you're working on specific pain, it can definitely shift and move around. All right, so forgiveness. Who feels the need to forgive someone? All right, so we got some others. And sometimes it can be yourself. Those are huge issues that I find with my clients. Forgiveness of self and others. Okay, big. Is it necessary to ask someone for forgiveness? No, I like that answer. No. Oh, awesome. No, why not?
It's not about that.
It's really not about them, is it? Whether or not they tell you that they forgive you is irrelevant. It's simply that we forgive ourselves and that we forgive others.
Well, it's relevant for them.
But we're not about them, right? We're all about our own healing journey. It's all about us and within. It was Abraham Hicks. Someone asked Abraham, isn't that selfish that it's all about me, right? And what did Esther say? She channeled Abraham and said, yes, it is. Because it is all about you. This journey is all about you. Because if you make that positive vibrational change in your life, you're contributing to that positive vibration of the planet, right? So doing the work, healing the world starts right here, right? You heal yourself, and you're doing your biggest contribution that you can make to healing the world. All right, so forgiveness. Tapping, side of the hand. All right, everyone think about someone that you need to forgive. Could be yourself, could be someone else. What is that feeling? Where do you feel it in your body? What does it feel like to you? Kind of some anxiety, some being unsettled, a little bit of unrest that you feel that you need to forgive someone. Okay. And now the question, are you ready to let that go?
Yes.
Are you ready to forgive?
Yes.
When?
Now.
Okay, good. Eyebrow point. The good?
Yes.
Yes? All right, side of the eye. The bad?
Yes.
Good. We'll combine these. The right and the wrong?
Yes.
Good. The negative and the positive?
Yes.
What's another? What's another good opposite? Give me a polarity. Good, bad, right, wrong.
Love, hate.
Completeness, complete and incomplete? Okay, complete and incomplete. What else? Did you have one over here?
Love and hate.
Love and hate. The love and the hate of it. Very good. The what?
Apathy and interest.
Apathy and interest. Okay, collarbone. The apathy and the interest surrounding it. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Deep breath. I had somebody ask me once, if you're going to tap out and release my grief, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose that connection and that love for that person. Not at all. EFT doesn't work like that. Just like tapping out your craving for chocolate does not remove your appreciation and enjoyment of chocolate. It's the same thing with any other emotion. It just brings you more into balance. Back to my story a little bit. After I cleared the grief over my mother's passing, I was then finally able to cry about her and talk about her and feel that love connection and finally able to miss her. I was blocking all those emotions. I wouldn't allow myself to think about her enough to cry or get emotional. And it was difficult because my wife, on the other hand, wanted to talk about my mother every day, reminisce and cry. That's how she was dealing with the loss of my mother. She was very close to my mother. So for me, clearing the grief was finally opening myself up to experience those other emotions. It was a wonderful thing. I also want to mention that with EFT, everything that I have cleared with EFT has been a permanent change. That moment that grief was lifted, that was the last I ever felt grief for my mother in that situation. The moment I cleared physical issues was the last time I ever had a problem with that physical part. So once you've cleared not only the core issue, but all the other aspects like we've talked about, the different aspects and perspectives of it, it can be gone once and for all. Okay? Permanent change. Some people have said, well, that can't possibly be it. It's going to come back or something else is going to trigger it. If you've released the core issue, nothing can trigger it. It still becomes, it's still a story. It doesn't erase your memory of things. Although there have been things that I've cleared from my childhood that I really can't remember anymore because it's not a big issue or a big deal anymore. Whereas before I could tell you the whole annoying story because it still made me angry. Once you clear it, it's permanent.